Hi, good day, folks. Today I'm going to show you how to do to implement a virtual private network, which is also known as a VPN. Now, a VPN is basically a private data network that makes use of companies or school telecommunication infrastructure by maintaining that privacy through a tunneling protocol. What it really basically is saying is that, for instance, if you are a manager or user that needed to access your work's data or information, and you weren't on that network and you were somewhere probably halfway around the world or even at your home, you can use a VPN to access your company's information or network. Now, what it does is it encapsulates the data over that tunneling protocol. And encapsulating is really like one form of data hiding another form of data within it. So, just after this brief explanation now, I'm just going to show you how you actually implement or configure the VPN using Windows Server 2008. Now, you're going to start server and go to your server manager, and we're going to go to roles. Now you're going to add a role, which you have done before. You see we have other roles there. Let me just cancel this to show you. We had other roles already set up, such as the Active Directory domain, DHCP server, and DNS server, and file services. So just add a role, go to next, and you're going to add the network policy and access services. This is going to provide the routing and remote access, which is going to enable us to actually add the VPN to the server, and then I will show you how to do it on the client side. We'll just click next here and next here as well. We're going to click on the routing and remote access services, which provides the remote user access to the resources on the VPN. I'm going to click next, and I'm going to install the network policy and access services. Okay, so we just for the installation to finish, to be completed, and then I'll show you the other step from there. Okay, so we just close this off, and now under your roles you're going to see the additional network policy and access services, and we're going to just click on it. Now, before I had a VPN set up on this, so I'm just going to disable the routing and remote access, and then I'm going to enable it to show you how it is actually done. So because I had a VPN on this before, I had it configured, that is why it's already enabled. So as I said, I'm just going to disable it and then re-enable it so that you'll be able to see how it's actually done. So I'm just waiting for this to finish. Okay, now you'll just for the routed and remote access, you're going to right click and go to configure and enable the routing and remote access. You'll get this setup wizard. You click next, and we're going to choose the custom configuration for this exercise. And what we want to do is enable on the server VPN access, and we will click next here and finish. We're going to start the service. Just going to get this little hourglass for a little bit, and then click finish. Now what you want to do is just close this off, go to start and administrative tools, and go to your Active Directory users and computers. You're going to go into your users, and you're going to actually allow them to dial in. So we're going to go to users here, and here we see both the admin user, administrator. So I can just right click on this, go to properties, go to dial in. It's already set to control access through NPS network policy. We're going to actually give it allow access to the network and give it network access permission. Press OK. So do that for the user as well, and I'll show you why in a bit. And apply and OK. Now it's already set up here on the network. I'm just going to go back into the server manager on the server side, and I'm just going to show you something underneath the network policy and access services. Now here you're going to see that you have the ports, and each, let me just widen this a bit for you. The status of them right now, as you can see, all of them are inactive, and the only time you would ever see any one of the ports, any one of the ports active is when we actually create the VPN connection with the client as well. So I'm going to this is my Vista client, which I'm going to just go here now to configure, and what you're going to do is just simply press start and go to connect to, and you're going to set up a connection or network. You don't want to connect to the internet. You're going to connect to a workplace, which is, it gives a description below, set up a dial-up or VPN connection to your workplace. No, I'm gonna set up the connection anyway. Oh, sorry. Just give me 1 sec. Yeah, we're gonna set up a connection. I'm gonna connect to our workplace. And just click next. I'm gonna use my internet connection VPN, and the internet addresses that you're going to put is the actual address of the server. Now the server, my server address is 192.168.1.1. You could whatever your server address is, or whatever your company's server address is, is what you going to put there as the internet address. And I'm just going to name it San Siro VPN. I'll click next. The username will be the administrator. Just for this exercise purposes as well, and really when really have username as being administrator, it'll be very easy to figure out. That could be very detrimental to your company or to your network. And here we're going to connect, and we are connected to the VPN. And alright, if we go into control panel here, and we go to network and sharing, we're going to manage our network connections. It's still identifying. Now you could see that it's a WAN mini port. It's using the PPTP protocol. Still identifying. And the reason why I want to show you this is so that when I go over to the server side, I'm going to show you the port that is active. Now you're seeing the host name here. Go to networking as well. We're really using the IPv version 4. Okay, right. Okay, so just go over to the server side. I'm just going to show you how it's active there. Just double check one thing. Right, so it says connected. When we go to the server here, I'm looking for that WAN mini port PPTP, and we should see the port that is active. Right. Only need to reconnect from it. Sorry there. Alright, so we see the number of ports. and the duration. So you see that the VPN, the client has been connected to the server via VPN. Okay, this is why we're not seeing the port. Just put back in my password here. Alright, so now it's authenticated. We should see the active port on the server side. You just scroll along here. And there it is right here. Here we could see the VPN, the active port that is being used, and that is basically a virtual private network between a server, Windows 2008, and a client. And that brings us to the end of my tutorial.